leaving a legacy that truly matters, even without wealth. Have you ever paused and wondered, what will my legacy be after turning 70? Every year begins to feel more precious, almost like carefully written pages in the final, beautiful chapter of a long and meaningful story. For many, this thought brings a quiet worry. I don't have much money or possessions to leave behind. Will my life even matter after I'm gone? But here's the truth I want you to hold on to. A legacy is not about money. It's about love, values, and the memories you created through the years. In fact, what you carry in your heart and how you've touched others often matters far more than anything stored in a bank account. Today, let's walk together through what legacy truly means and how you can leave behind something deeply meaningful, something your children, grandchildren, friends, and even strangers will treasure long after you're gone. What legacy really means. When people hear the word legacy, they often think about wills, inheritances, or property. But true legacy goes far deeper. Legacy is not what you leave for people. It's what you leave in them. It's in the laughter you shared around the dinner table, in the lessons you taught without even realizing it, and in the small, seemingly ordinary moments that carried extraordinary meaning. Money can disappear, but values, stories, and love ripple forward through generations like a stone dropped in a quiet pond. Think about it. When you remember your parents or grandparents, do you remember the money they had? Or do you remember how they made you feel, the wisdom they passed down, or the traditions they carried? That's legacy, and it's far richer than gold. Passing down family stories and traditions. One of the greatest treasures you can leave behind is your story. Children and grandchildren crave a sense of connection to their roots. They want to know where they came from, what struggles their family overcame, and what traditions gave shape to their identity. Stories are bridges that connect past, present, and future. Nancy, for example, made it her quiet mission to preserve her family's history. Every Sunday afternoon, she would sit at her kitchen table with a cup of tea and write down old family recipes, but not just the recipes themselves. She wrote the stories behind them. The bread recipe wasn't just about flour and yeast. It was about her mother kneading dough on cold winter mornings during the Depression. The soup recipe wasn't just a list of ingredients. It was about how the whole family gathered around the pot when money was tight, finding joy in togetherness. Years later, Nancy's grandchildren treasure those handwritten notes like sacred relics. To them, those recipes are more than food. They're a roadmap of where they came from, carrying flavors and feelings that no inheritance could replace. Your stories matter. Even the funny mistakes, the small victories, the silly traditions, they are threads in the fabric of your family's identity. And sharing them is one of the most powerful legacies you can give, teaching values through daily actions. Legacy isn't built in a single grand gesture. It's not one heroic act, but the steady rhythm of daily choices, lived over years. Honesty, kindness, patience, faith. These values sink deeper when they are not simply spoken, but lived out consistently. The quiet example of how you treat others often leaves a deeper mark than any lecture could. Tom, a retired teacher, once worried he had little to leave behind. He didn't own land, didn't have much money saved, and felt unimportant in the grand scheme of things. But his grandchildren saw something different. They noticed how Tom treated strangers with respect and dignity. They noticed how he listened to people without judgment, how he kept his promises, how he never raised his voice in anger. One day, his granddaughter told him, "Grandpa, I want to be just like you when I grow up, not because of what you had, but because of how you treated people." That was Tom's legacy. Not money, not possessions, but a living inheritance of kindness and integrity, giving the gift of time and presence. Sometimes, the most powerful legacy is not something tangible at all. It's the gift of your time, your attention, and your presence. Nancy's granddaughter once said something that deeply touched her heart. "Grandma, I don't remember the toys you bought me, but I'll never forget how you came to every school play." Presence speaks louder than gifts. Listening to your grandchildren's dreams, showing up a friend's birthday, making a call to someone who feels forgotten. These seemingly small acts echo long after you're gone. They whisper, "You mattered. You were there. You cared." That, dear friend, is a legacy money cannot buy. Spreading kindness and compassion. Legacy extends far beyond family. It also lives in the kindness you spread to the wider world. A gentle word to a neighbor, a smile to a stranger at the grocery store, a helping hand when no one else is watching. These ripples of compassion travel further than you may ever realize. Tom, for instance, began writing short, encouraging notes to people at his church. He didn't think much of it at the time, just a way to brighten someone's day. But years later, one young man approached him with tears in his eyes. "Your words saved me during one of the darkest times of my life," he said. Tom never imagined that a few small notes could become part of his legacy. Yet they did. The kindness you show today may become the story someone tells tomorrow about how they survived, healed, or found hope, inspiring through resilience and faith. Another powerful way to leave a legacy is through resilience, by showing others how to endure hardship with grace. Life brings challenges, illness, loss, change, but how you respond to those challenges leaves a blueprint for younger generations. Nancy, after losing her husband, faced an ocean of grief. But instead of closing her heart, she chose to live with gratitude for the years they shared. She kept smiling, kept loving, and kept showing up for her family. Her grandchildren watched her and learned a lesson they would never forget. That love never truly dies. It simply changes form, living on in memory and gratitude. That quiet strength, that faith in the face of loss, became Nancy's legacy. It wasn't something written in a will. It was written in the hearts of everyone who loved her. Why your legacy already matters. So, dear friend, your legacy is not in bank accounts or possessions. It's in the memories you create, the values you live, and the love you give freely. Every smile you've shared, every story you've told, every act of kindness you've offered, it's all shaping the future one moment at a time. And here's the beautiful truth. You are already leaving a legacy simply by being yourself and living with love. So let me ask you, what's one lesson, tradition, or memory you hope to leave behind? Is it a family recipe, a bedtime story, a phrase you always say, or simply the way you made people feel loved? I'd love to hear from you. Share it in the comments below so others can be inspired by the legacy you're building. And if this message touched your heart, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs encouragement today. Because whether you realize it or not, your legacy is already unfolding, and it matters more than you think.